tried it. Yeah, it wasn't that good. It wasn't very efficient. So I went back to an earlier adaptation of, which one was it? No, it wasn't that one, so I'm picking the same one up. Right. I can't find it. Where have I put it? Yeah. Well, initially it was that one. Anyway, I'm trying to make this a quick video because I'm tired. So anyway, this is the new one I did. Oh, screwdriver stuck to it. And it's a lot better. So I just want to be quick about this. The way this segment is, I designed it for the curvature for a rotary system, so it would fit the rotor in here. So it's actually got the same circumference as the rotor, which you can't really see in here very well, but it doesn't have enough torque yet, but it does have a lot more promise. And when I spin it, I can't do it with one hand. When I spin it, it actually turns longer than it did with the other one, which was dragging. So the way I designed this is the magnets on the end are splayed outwards slightly on the entry point, and also on the exit point you have to start to angle the magnets. As you get near the end, you've got to start changing the pitch angle, so that the edge of the magnet is on the exit point and the edge of the magnet is on the exit point. So to simulate what I'm trying to explain here is, if I get this magnet, which is basically what's in the rotor, when you approach the magnet on the edge on the side, when you approach, you see it's actually got so much propulsion, it's actually moving. Look, when you approach the edge of the magnet, let me use some plastic, because so when you actually come in at this pitch, when you come in at this pitch angle on the edge, that's the minimum amount of drag and repulsion at the same time, because you're in the center of the magnet. So you have an area, it's called I think the right word would be what's the word? It's like a gap in a force field, basically. It's like a slit in the force field of the magnetism. So that is the weakest point. So if I put my finger on here, that is moving around because it's very strong, this new one. The new one is very strong. So when I come in at that angle, there's the minimum amount of drag and repulsion at that point. But you've got to get it bang on. If you come in a bit low, it will drag. If you come in a bit high, it will drag. So as the rotor is moving around, the idea was that as the rotor moves around like this, it would have less influence until it gets into the system, which is in here. Then it starts to take over. It really starts to... I've actually got this backwards, actually. I can feel it pushing me back up here, because that's the exit point. This is the entry point I'm coming to down here. So when it gets down there, it just really strong at that end, as you can see. Anyway, so I've been testing this out. Everything's sticking to it right now. It's got a lot of magnets in. I actually took some out out of these generator slots. I've got a load of them in there, so I nicked a few out of there because I don't use that generator anyway at the moment. So I'm trying to move stuff out of the way so I don't get stuff flying across. So if I can get this just right, you see this gauge is the slightest amount of grams will move it. If I can get this, you remember it's designed for a rotary system, as in something that's turning, and this is straight. I've actually got to approach this at the right angle, because if I don't get it at the right angle, I've also got a magnet at the back there, which I'm trying to balance things with. So if I come in at just the right angle, it shouldn't move. Yeah, it actually flew forward, which is what I want. So you can see, let me just get this out of the way a minute. Right, so if I come in at just the right angle, if I come in with this angle too steep, so this is at this side, it will fly that way. If I come in with it on this side, it will go that way. So you see, it's very fussy, it's extremely tight. So if I come in a bit high, you'll see what happens here. So there, look, it's deflecting now. Look at that. The flux is in a direct line in that direction. So it's not moving it up and it's not moving it down. So we've got an exact entry point right there. So the idea is that the rotor is turning. Well, I can't rotate this, so we have to rotate this instead to compensate, to simulate a rotor. So as it comes in like this, it flies out the end. Now the exit point also should push it out, except when you get the angle wrong. Because remember, the rotor, when it's spinning, will be exiting in that plane of direction. So look at it, it's still pushing away, which is really good. I wanted that. I'd actually added some magnets on the back here to give extra biasing to increase the amount of push force on that. So if I can get this right on there without it moving and bring this entry point just right, it's hard to get it, it's very fiddly to get this just right. So if I come in at the right angle like that, it will move. So that is brilliant, because it means, oh shit, everything's sticking to it again. It means that I have a much better configuration. It's I actually printed out that whole back array earlier because I was curious about it, and this is what I printed out, and it's nothing like that. This arrangement is nothing like the whole back array actually, because I wanted to verify something, because I know I mentioned it in our video the other day. My mind was a bit sorry, I'm just trying to put that paper back. My mind was getting a bit fuzzy. So this is a lot stronger than the previous one. You remember the previous video, you can go back and watch it. Everything, this is so strong, everything's flying across the room, it's sticking to it. So I'll show you how much more sensitive. Remember I was about an inch away before? Well, watch this one. I'm 2 inches, 3 inches. And it moved. So that's, get my ruler. Was it? Yeah, about 2 inches roughly. So we are a lot further away. It's a lot stronger. It's wanted to push it out of the way already. So I'm going to move this back. Now it's not sufficient to drive a rotor on its own. So what I need to do is make 4 of these. If I get 4 of these, I think we might see some rotation. It reminds me of that old song, Herb Alpert. Herb Alpert. Rotation. I'd have to play that, but then I'd get copyright striked, wouldn't I? You can probably look it up on YouTube. Yeah, search for Herb Alpert. Rotation. Yeah. So anyway, I'm actually got an end stop right here at the moment. It's on an end stop, so let's try to do away with it. Let's move forward a bit. Let's just, ooh, look at that. It's picking it up right from over there, look. Right, let's come in at the right angle, if I can get the right angle. You see, it flies out the end. That is a lot better than the previous one. It's just, if the magnet comes on the back, it's going to stick to it. It's obviously going to stick to it, but the rotor, it's not going to do that with the rotor, because the rotor is moving. A rotor is obviously going to be, well, oh, let me get my compass. Stick that there. Let's see if I can get this right. The rotor would be in this particular arc. I'm using a pencil. Ooh, my thing's catching it. So it would be in the same arc, around like that. I've got no room to draw this line, and it's not even showing up. This rubber mat is completely soiled now. It wants to come off, basically. But that's the arc that we need to simulate. That there, I don't know if you can see it. It's not really come up. I've just scored the rubber with my, but yeah. Anyway, see, it just flew away then. Anyway, so as I said, I've been waffling for 10 minutes now. It's supposed to be a quick video. It's very strong, this new one. It's influencing it right from over there. So let's see if I can get this without actually... Yeah, it's definitely a lot better. It's actually bouncing off there and coming back, because what's pulling it back is the back of here. As you can see, it sticks to the back of that. So, because the magnetic fields... I could put some screening around here to stop that, which is something to do later on, but for the moment, you see, obviously if it's a rotor, it's not going to be anywhere near the back, so it's going to be moving out of the way anyway. So hang on a minute. So I keep forgetting to hold the camera and point it. I've got my screwdriver stuck on it again. It's kind of fun. Let's get the angle right. If I can do this. Oops, almost. I just misjudged it a bit there. I was trying to work it out in SketchUp, you see, to get the angles. I was using the compass, the rotational degree thing, to try to get these magnets lined up just exactly right, and it was not easy. I was fiddling about for ages thinking, is that right, is that right? And I was drawing lines. I used my ruler, I was drawing lines between the magnet, and I had the rotor in SketchUp opposite this magnet array. So I was drawing lines and looking for the edge of the rotor to see if the edge of the magnet was lined up with the edge of the rotor, and this is how I designed it so that it would it's so friggin' strong, it's affecting it right from over there. It's only a few grams, like, this thing just rolls easy anyway. Yeah, you see it got a kick there. It's actually kicked it. It gives it quite a big kick then. Right. If I can just keep this around that angle, it won't attract, you see. At that angle, it will stay there. It won't fly towards it, because that's basically what I want it to do. Because if you sit at the right angle, it will keep pushing it away. It's not going to attract to it. It's only when you turn it around that it backs up, which is what you expect it to do. It's because I'm running it down a straight track, which is the reason why it's jumping off the track. So let's bring it down here. See if we can do it again. It's really awkward to do this on a rubber mat, because it's not very slippery. Stop rolling, bloody thing. Oh, I'm drooping again. Right, let's try this one more time. I want to go. Right. Oh, I'll do it from the other end. Alright, so let's leave that at that end. Let's turn this around. Is this drawing pin come out? No, it hasn't. It's still there. Right, let's try this from the other end, coming back towards us now. I'm not used to doing it, so I might screw up. Oh, I flew it off the track. That's how strong it is. It actually threw it off the track. Let's try that again. Oh, I got it that time. So you can see that it's pushing uphill, actually, because coming in this direction, it's actually going uphill slightly, because this table's on a slight slant. So it's actually pushing it a lot better uphill now than the other one was. So it's definitely an improvement. Let's try and do this again. Yeah, so strong it's knocking it off the track. Try again. I'll back it out a bit, because otherwise it just kicks it. Right. Yeah, that rubber's not as sticky as it was. It's not as rubbery as it was. It's going to be glossy now. I'll get it right. Ah, there we go. So I actually had to stay quite a long way back this time, because the field is so strong. Yeah, that's quite a long way away from it. Yeah. Oops. Did I get this right way around? Yeah, I think I did. It's pushing it from over there, look. Definitely better than before. See, what I want to do is, if you're on the back side here, it will push back, which is what you expect it would do. But right in that entry point, it's it's not doing it. It's not pushing it back, it's not pushing it forward. If I can just bring this in on the entry point and keep that lined up, it should push the ball back. Ooh, oh, I didn't get it right. So at the entry point, it should start to push that ball back. If I can get it exactly on that line. It's very hard for me to see this, you know, because I've got no... There. So right on that edge of the magnet, we have a huge amount of torque in that direction, right? Because it's pushing the ball back inside this, because remember there's a magnet at the back here which is pushing against these balls and these magnets. So that's direct forces in that direction. But when we change the force angle like that, we have propulsion in the direction we want. So if the rotor is entering at the right angle, it won't see any force until it gets into the array and moves up. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That's the best I've come up with so far. So my next plan of action is to print 4 of these, well another 3 of these, and I need to fix up some sort of mounting thing on the back, so I can attach it to this rotor somehow. So I've got to model something to hold it so that it's lined up on this assembly, so I can test it to see if it'll actually spin that, because I tried with one won't do it, but maybe 4 will. But the only question is, do I not have enough magnets? Because the only magnets I've got of these type are actually in this generator, and they're actually in the back, not the round ones. I'm on about the ones in the square rectangle back. You can see lots. 2, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 in each one of these rectangle blocks at the back. So that's 12 in this block. I've taken 12 out of these 2 blocks. So there's 12, 24, 36. So I've got another 36 magnets. Oh, actually, is that right? Yeah, I've got another 36 rectangular magnets down these holes, which I can pull out. I think that's got... Oh, I took them out, didn't I? Yeah, I took those out. Yeah, so these are still populated. You can just see them in there. I've got a resistor there. These are still populated, those are populated, so I can take them out and use them for the arrays, and hopefully I'll have enough. If I don't, I can't order them because I looked on eBay for these. These are 20mm, these magnets, well they're actually 20mm by 5mm by 3mm wide, and I just can't find them. I think they came from China. I think with all the disasters that happened, the COVID outbreak and all that other stuff that's going on in China at the moment, what's happening globally with all these floods and everything now. So with all of this things happening in the world, there's no, I can't seem to get hold of any on eBay, so the suppliers have dried up. So we're just going to have to hope that I've got enough. If I don't, then I don't want to start remodeling all this for different magnets. The reason I use these magnets is because they're fairly strong, and they seem to be the right shape for doing the job, and also to use less plastic, because otherwise I would have to buy a stack of those N52s, which are the 25mm by 2mm, and they're very thin, and because they're so thin I would need more of them, you see. And well, there's some steel shims in between these magnets, by the way. So the magnet, there's a shim, there's a magnet. I've been testing with this earlier. This has got a hell of a lot of kick on it when you run the ball down the side. It really does have a lot more force on it. But these magnets are, I'd have to order another, well, I'd have to order a lot, and they're not cheap, these. So I was trying to use stuff I already had. That's the reason I didn't use those because I haven't got enough of them. They're all in the generator, which is over here. So they're all in my generator, those big powerful magnets, and I'm not going to pull them all out. It's a lot of work. Right, so thanks for watching, and I'll keep you updated on progress. Bye for now.